My name is Yaoto. Now let me ask you, have you ever tried making a program in Java and then when you compiled it, a lot of errors came out?
No.
Yes. Some of the errors are like cannot find symbol and semicolon expected errors. Am I right? These are very basic errors that are common to beginners, but advanced programmers are not an exception. Now let me ask you again. Have you ever tried making a class for your program and then later, after you finish that, you found out that there is a built-in class for Java?
What?
So, Java has many built-in classes that we don't know. And I'm going to discuss to you more of them later.
Yes.
Java, pardon me, making a program in Java is very essential in our today's country because this is very common to everyone. Now, I will give you 5 things to remember when programming in Java. These are very basic but crucial, so please listen. Number 1, Java is case sensitive. This is very important to remember because if you forgot this principle, a lot of things will happen to your code and it's gonna be very bullshit. So, Java only accesses variable names, method names, and classes that are with the correct casing when it was declared. And some editors, I'm going to tell you, some editors allow these errors to pass by and make your program run. And it will make you think that your program is running smoothly. But if you do the actual running of the program, it won't run. It is because of that. So, if that happened, what will you do? You will find it in your code, which is line by line, especially if you're just using Notepad, which is very tiring and tedious. Second, make your identifier descriptive. What is an identifier? An identifier is the name you give for your variables, methods, and classes. The advantage of this is that if your variables are descriptive or your identifiers are descriptive, it will be easier to understand when you're coding, especially if your codes are very, very long and you have so many classes in Java. Another advantage of this is that if you are working in a group, your colleagues can easily understand what you are doing with the variables. And third is always keep a proper indentation when coding. The advantage of this is to make your codes look clean and professional looking. And really, professional looking. Another advantage of this is that for readability, when you do the desk checking, a desk checking, by the way, is a program testing process by reading line by line your code and checking if the logic of your code is proper. And when you have a proper indentation and you have colleagues again, they can also read your classes very easily. Fourth, this is a very common reminder. Always put a semicolon at the end of your statement. A statement is the single line of code. This is a very basic concept in Java, but it is also what is commonly forgotten by all programmers. If you make a code and you compile it, and it has an error that semicolon expected error, and you are using a notepad again, you're gonna have a good time finding it on 1,000-line codes, which is really tiring. And I tell you, it's really tiring. I have tried, and it's really hard. So guys, always remember that, okay?
Yes.
And lastly, if you ever feel that you are lost when making your program, or if you don't know how your classes work, these built-in classes in Java works, you can always call your 2 best friends, the Java API documentation and, of course, Google. Java API documentation has everything from methods to classes and their descriptions. It also has all the description for the parameters and the return values of the built-in classes. And it can really make your life easier if you have this with you on an offline mode, because it is online in the Java Oracle website. And have you ever felt like when you're coding, you don't know how to do this and that? And the Java API documentation can give you an answer and you don't have your teachers with you? Well, you can always ask Google. Google will give you some answers to your problems, but not everything, because every code is unique in its own way. So, once again, these things are very basic, but if you forgot about them, you're gonna have a big headache. I mean, really, it's a big headache. So, always remember this so that you can save time and energy and you will be a happy programmer. Once again, code happily and thank you.
Yeah.